Well, let's talk hometowns. Last night was hometowns. You have been on both sides of hometown dates.
Yeah.
So would you say that you found them enjoyable or more stressful?
No, I hated it. It was very stressful. As a contestant, it's actually a lot of fun. It's your first time feeling like you're in the real world. You get to see your family. You feel like you're in control of the date for the first time, at least a little bit, because you get to show. I got to show Andy. It was only Andy because they changed it on Caitlin's season. But I got to show Andy like my hometown and introduce to some of my friends and family, and that was a lot of fun. As the lead, it's just very stressful, and you're just trying to be respectful of the families, and you feel like you're going to get asked a lot of tough questions, and those are fair questions, and you're kind of in survival mode, truly. And every lead has going into hometowns certainly their favorites. And it's not a four-way tie at this point. It doesn't mean they've made their decision, but they certainly have stronger relationships than others. And for the relationships that aren't as strong, it's a challenging conversation because you don't want to be disingenuous and you still want to be respectful of the families, and that can be tough.
No question. Are the dates usually airing in the order in which they actually happened?
I think usually, but not always.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have any say in terms of, the order? Did you care, or did
No,
it not really?
that's a really like a logistical thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things like travel and family availability. So yeah.
No, was the scariest part like sitting down with like some of the fathers or family members being in the hot seat, or not even?
I didn't take it's funny because on this episode there was a lot of like emphasis made on Colton getting permission from the fathers. I've had a lot of conversations with some of my female friends about the difference between asking for a blessing and asking for permission.
What do you think the difference is?
Well, permission kind of seems a bit kind of a dowry, kind of like the historical marriage back in the day, a long time ago. Women were used as a form of property, as a bartering chip for land, and literally. So the concept of asking for permission kind of plays into that. Blessing, I think, is more just like, listen, ultimately it's her choice. She's a woman; she can make her own decision. But I would certainly love her loved ones to give us their blessing and support, and I think there's a difference there. And I also ask the moms as much as I ask the fathers. And so I was, again, for the, my relationship, my conversation with, say, Vanessa's parents was a little bit more meaningful to me because she, at the time, I felt the strongest about. A little bit different with Corinne's family,
Slightly different. Did you ask Raquel for her blessing?
I think I did as a joke. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was kind of funny.
That was a pretty epic hometown date. Did you get to
No,
keep
a lot of
those
fun.
clothes?
I did, yeah.
Are you wearing them?
No.
Do you get to spend any time with your family off camera while you're home?
A little bit, but not much. It's very minimal. You're talking minutes, really. Yeah.
Last night, who were some of your favorite family members that stood out to you?
I don't know. I watch it very differently. I think sometimes hometowns can be a little BS because.
What way?
Because again, I think it's a tough position to be in. I mean, Colton, this whole I'm falling in love with everyone.
I was going to say, he said about every single woman.
But it's the most. And I talk about this on my podcast that launches tomorrow, or drops. It's such a disingenuous line. I'm falling in love. It's a tool. You can say that to anyone, and you're not necessarily lying. I'm falling in love.
But why do you think he's saying it?
Because it's the lead people on.
It doesn't feel like he's intentionally.
No, I don't think.
No,
I don't think. Again, we're all sucked up in the bubble. I don't think he is. I think Colton is very insincere about. You can tell he just wants to be respectful of the families, and I think he has developed relationships with all these women. It's just an easy thing. It's an easy thing to say. And it's an easy thing to get out of.
That's true, because it's not saying I'm in love with you or I love you. It's like that in-between area.
And again, I'm certainly, because Colton's getting drilled by the parents, and it's a way of validating. He's saying, well, I am falling in love, and I've even said that to her, and I mean it. And he's not necessarily lying. He's just going to fall out of love tomorrow,
Tayshia's dad called him out on it, though. I like Tayshia's dad.
Yeah. If I were Tayshia's dad, I've been like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, essentially he did say that, and Colton was like, "Oh, I." Now
Yeah,
have to
and those
explain
are. I think
this."
those are the most. I thought Cassie's dad was awesome. I think
Very
you could
direct.
tell he was trying to treat his daughter as an adult because she is an adult. But at the same time, like, still be like, hey, you're still 23, and this, like, I don't mean to sound condescending, and I'm not, like my parents when I. When I was in my early 20s, I'm an adult. They can't tell me what to do anymore.
But he was
they're
being
still my
protective.
parents, and I think he was just trying to say, "Hey, listen, you have a lot of life to live," and And I thought he handled him. I thought Cassies' dad was great. Yeah.
Now, were you surprised that Colton sent Kaylin home?
No, I don't know. At this point, who knows? Whatever.
So who do you think Colton's going to give his final rose to?
Who is it down to now?
Cassie, Hannah G, and Tayshia.
I think Hannah or Cassie. I think
Yeah.
Tayshia. I feel like with him and Tayshia, they both no, they're not going to end up together. It's kind of like this mutual understanding that they have.
Want more extra? Hit the subscribe button and the bell and never miss a video.